Are you trying to create impact, or are you just trying to be famous? So many gurus really sell the idea that you're going to be speaking from these big stages when you're a coach, that you're going to be impacting millions of lives, and that you are going to be able to do it in an ego-driven way. And a lot of coaches get sucked into that. And they start touring. They start speaking in lots of different places. They start having this monster that they create that creates only external validation. Only if they get someone telling them they did a really good job that they feel like they did a good job. Only if they book a really big gig do they feel like they are actually winning at life. And it's exhausting. It creates a monster that you have to keep feeding. It creates a monster where you have to keep seeking that external validation instead of having this internal knowing that you are doing the right thing and that you're creating impact. It becomes very empty. And it becomes really something that can allow you to self-sabotage very quickly because it gets exhausting. So what I find is a lot of the coaches that have sought the ego-driven, the attention-seeking versions that they were sold by gurus, once they get burned out and they're tired, they're like, you know what, all I really want to do is make a difference. I want to know that I'm making a difference. And so what happens is they start wanting to step off the stage. They want to step off that pedestal and get in the mud with their ideal clients and start working with them so that they know that they're actually creating an impact. Because from the stage, you don't know. When you're standing in front of 1,000 people, you don't know that in a week from now, that what you said has actually made any kind of difference. And the most likely thing is that they didn't, especially if they're at a conference where there's a whole bunch of speakers and everyone is rah, 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 and everyone's getting really excited. And so they're loving the adrenaline rush, but they're not actually doing anything with the information that they got. So people get addicted to going to these conferences as attendees, not even as speakers, but as attendees. And what happens is you create inspiration, but you're not actually creating transformation from the stage. And so these coaches who get burnt out from being on tour, from always being required to be on, they have to be on the stage, they have to be on when they're participating in a crowd. They just want to get in the mud and start making a tangible difference, a measurable difference with their clients. And so those ones come to me and say, okay, so how can I do this thing? This magical thing that I've been doing on stage, but how can I be teaching this in a way that I know people are actually getting major value for their money? Because I don't think they're getting value. Watching me on the stage and getting inspired and then going back to their life and not doing anything with it, they're not actually getting value. So they want to start taking this genius that they have that has been able to create a stage presence and step off the stage and actually start working with people. And this is where we start designing these group programs where they're allowed to work with a small group of people at a price point that makes sense for the genius, for the kind of transformation that they can create in people's lives, and actually start designing it so that they create replicable outcomes. And what happens is people start shifting from this external validation to actually knowing inside that they are making a difference, that the work that they're doing is valuable, that it is impactful, that it is creating positive influence. And they stop seeking all this external validation. External validation is exhausting. Seeking people's opinion, the roller coaster of public opinion sucks. So if you can actually find that internal knowing and go, okay, I know what I'm doing is actually creating impact. I know what I'm doing is actually helping people. I know what I'm doing is actually fulfilling my destiny, which is a big part of it as well. The destiny to know that you have a genius that you are meant to share with the world to actually create impact in other people's lives. That's when people start to really settle down. And settling down, I mean, they're not on this roller coaster of high highs and low lows. They start to have this more slow, steady burn of energy. They start to have more flow in their life. They start to feel like they're creating more impact. So it's not these weird cycles of high and then low and then they're panicking in between. They start to be able to see on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, that there's an accumulation of positive influence that they're creating in people's lives. And that is far more fulfilling than being on stage and creating inspiration in the moment, but not actually creating transformation in the long term. So if you are someone who is ready to step off the stage, you are ready to like get in the mud with people and really start creating massive impact, or you've been one-on-one coaching and you're ready to maximize your time and maximize your influence by moving to group coaching, I would love for you to join the Pivot to Profitable Entrepreneurship Challenge. It is 5 days, and it will really change how you see yourself. It will change how you see how you can impact people, and it'll change how you drive your business.